When it comes to creating atmosphere in photos or in video, there's a few different ways to do it. You can get a mist filter, or another good way to do this is by a fog machine. And this right here is a small little portable fog machine by Telesin. You see, this is the CW40. It comes in this nice little carrying case that all you have to do is zip open. And then we unfold it, and it has everything laid out right here that you need. Right, we have the charging cable, we have the actual fog machine itself with a detachable remote that is going to come in really big handy if you want to not be right near it and have to press the button that's on the inside, and it just charges like that. And then you obviously have your vegetable glycerin that comes with it to create the fog or the mist, whatever it is you need. And then it comes with this chamber right here. And that's where you would put that vegetable glycerin to heat up so it can get that fog. And this top part obviously has the little area with all the attachments that go on the top right here. You have a single point nozzle right here, or if you're looking for something else, you have this T1 right here where it'll come out both sides right here, or you can use the arms that come with it and shoot it a little more directionally. It also comes with these two little foam adapters right here that can go on the ends of either your T-arm right here or on the end of your other arm. This helps create more of a dry ice effect. But now that we looked at all that, let me just let you know that Telesin did send this over to me to try out. And just like all my videos, everything is my own opinion. They don't get to tell me what I can and can't say in the videos. Most of the time they'll let me know if there's something I want to hit on, but that's about it. I can give you the good parts and the bad parts of this machine. So let me let you know about some of the specs, and then we're gonna go outside really quick and try it. So just a few specs about it, because there are a few in here that I think you will be interested to know that I view as very important. USB-C, most things nowadays are USB-C, can take about 2.5 hours to totally charge. Now it has a operating temp of 5 degrees Celsius, which is like 41 degrees to 100 and about 13 degrees or 45 degrees Celsius. So just know that it can heat up and it can get a little hot. So if you're trying to grab that oil tank, it can just be a little warm, and just be careful with it. But the thing that I find very interesting that I think is important to note is the runtime. Now the runtime is 28 minutes, but it is a cumulative runtime, meaning it's not going to be able to run for 28 minutes in a row. This is going to be step-by-step running in minutes, right? So you could have 2 minutes here, 2 minutes here, 2 minutes here, but you're not going to be able to run it for 28 minutes in a row if you were to somehow need it for that long of a time. The reason for that is the oil tank runtime is actually only 10 minutes of max power continuous. So if you have it on for 10 minutes max power, that is according to the Telsin website. So if you run it for that 10 minutes, it'll probably stop or overheat. So that's why you're not gonna be able to get 20 minutes in a row. It's gonna be 5 minutes here, 2 minutes here, 3 minutes here. The oil tank is 10 milliliters, and it comes with this 60 milliliter vegetable glycerin bottle. So you're gonna be able to fill that thing up 6 times. That doesn't mean you're gonna use it 6 times, because 10 milliliters does last. So you're gonna be able to have a bottle or 2 of this and have it last for a while, depending on how often you decide to use it. But like I said, this is just a food grade vegetable glycerin that goes in there, so it's non-toxic and things like that. So if you need to do it in your house, you can absolutely do it. If you're trying to just create that atmosphere in your house to get a little bit of haze or whatever it might be, you can run this thing in your house. Now, there isn't really too much to know about the remote control other than it charges when it's plugged back on to the fog machine, and that you can get 10 meters away and it'll still work with the fog machine. Let's dive into the remote control and the different settings, and then we'll go outside and test this thing so you can see what it looks like. So here it is really quick, and this is the remote, and it just comes off like that, you know, very easy to use, right? Here's the charging point for it. And then right there, you can see all in here, here's a power button you can use. So if you lose the remote, you can absolutely just hold that in and it'll turn on right there. And then you can actually hit that button and you can hear it. And then you'll start having fog come out of it. So in this remote, we have 5 different buttons. This one right here is the power button to turn it on and off. So if we hold it in, you're gonna see that this remote is gonna turn off, but we're also gonna see that there's no light on there, and that's gonna turn off. We hold it back in really quick, it starts to turn on, and then it turns on that light right there in our fog machine. So this bottom button right here is what area you wanna select. Right now we have it on the timer, But if we want to select more clouds, more fan, or change the style we're doing, we just hit this selector button. And then wherever it is, you either hit the increase button or the decrease button, right? The plus button or the minus button. And if we want to change it to steam, it already has some presets in there. Or fog, it'll already have that. Or dry ice. Now, really quickly, we can also go down to the timer, and it can go from 5 seconds all the way up to 200 seconds. Just hold it in and it'll get there a lot faster. And then we hold it in again and it'll drop. So 5 seconds to 200 seconds, wherever you want to be. Or you can have it on blank and just hold this button in the whole time if you want to, or just press it when you need to and it'll start working. Now we hit this selector switch again, right? If we want to decide how dense the clouds are that are coming out, right? And we're all the way to just 1 bar, and then we can go up to 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, right? And then this is just gonna be how fast they come out, the fan, and it's the same thing. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6 different variations on each side. So you have 36 different ways to make these clouds come out, depending on how you want to do it, how thick you want it, or anything like that. So if you're not sure how you want it to look, there's these preset ones in there that you can use, like dry ice, fog, steam, or free, which is basically just letting you decide whatever you want to do. Right here, this is the oil tank, and that hole is where your vegetable glycerin goes in. So you just squeeze it, put it in there. Now we're done, and you take this little part, this tab right here, and you just make sure you push it down, and you can do that. But you can also untwist this if you need to. Take it off, whether you need to clean it, anything like that, and just check out that area right there. But just make sure this goes back in there, and you screw it on nice and tight. But that red right there, you can kind of see that's the minimum line. So make sure your oil stays above that. So right here is that T1 we had when we were inside. And all we have to do is hit that button and you have steam coming out of it. We back up. You see that? Pretty nice. It kind of comes out both sides. It gives you kind of a little more of an impact, a little more of an area for it to go. Now, there's also some other ones that we can use. Like this one that I talked about before. This is kind of like an arm. So we're gonna take this off really quick and we're gonna put it there. And if you wanna have it directional, so it can basically go at any direction, we can easily do that. This one's gonna push off to the right and you're gonna see it kind of go forward. We're outside, so it's gonna go whichever way the wind's kind of blowing. So it's coming straight towards the camera. But if we wanted it actually like at the camera, we could easily just turn it a little bit. And now it's gonna have more of that direction coming at the camera, or we can put it on this other side if we wanted to, and we can twist this basically any way we want to because it's 4 different pieces. So just keep that in mind. You can change it around, do whatever. Now we have it coming at the camera, kind of give it that really cool look to it. And then finally, we have one other one that we can do, and that's to take all of these off really quickly. So this is that arm right there. You could use any piece of that if you wanted to, but this is the part that was on the end, this single directional piece, right? This is just to kind of extend a little bit, but we can take this and throw it right here on top, like I'm going to, and now it's just gonna push straight up. But since we're outside, it's probably gonna push straight up and go to the right since that's the way the wind is blowing. But you can see it comes out a lot faster that way. So these come in handy different ways, depending on what you're kind of looking for your scene or for your photos. So one issue I do see when it's using this piece or one of these other pieces, because it happens with all of them, is that if you have it on high, right in here, you can see all that vegetable glycerin or whatever you're using, and you're gonna see it start to kind of push out, right? We don't even have this thing on high, and you're gonna start seeing it kind of come out and shoot around and land on the machine or the area around it. So keep that in mind that you're gonna have that coming out, and that can very easily do some damage, hard to clean up, whatever it might be. You can see all that vegetable glycerin on the side, but look right here what happened to us. Oil tank overheating. So now we're gonna have to wait, and that's because we had it on high for the clouds and for the fan, and that happens very, very fast. I would say you use it, and that happens within less than 5 minutes if you have it all the way up. So it overheats very, very easily, at least this one does. So just know that this could potentially overheat on you. Now, I'm just running it for this video. Now, do you usually run these things a lot, that fast, that high for this long? Absolutely not, but I've used this multiple times, just testing out and things like that. It has overheated on me on multiple occasions when using it, so do know that if you're planning on running this for a long time consecutively at a high rate of clouds and fan, that it will overheat on you. So that's all I got about this product. If you have questions, concerns, anything like that, drop them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer. But as always, God bless. I'll see y'all in the next one.